Hey there! Boy, oh boy, do I have a story for you today. So, I'm trying this voiceover format. I hope you guys like it. But in today's story time, I have a funny video to share that involves my family, so let me introduce you to them. We've got Uncle R, Uncle J, Aunt K, and then my Aunt E, which my Aunt E and Uncle J are both from Mexico because I have a missionary family that lives there. But anyway. We also have my two little cousins, Aunt E and Uncle J's daughters. Then the star of the story, Cousin A. Now, Cousin A was the 24-year-old son of Aunt K and Uncle R. Now, Aunt K and Uncle R were heavily involved with showing animals at the county fair. One day, Aunt K said, "Hey, why don't we go to the state fair today? All right, all the girls will ride with me in my car, and all the boys will go with Uncle R in his truck." So then Uncle R replied, "Sounds good to me, let's get going." Back to Cousin A. He was ambitious, an anime lover who had recently returned from Japan. Life was good, and he was always full of bright ideas, sometimes a little too bright. At this point, we were on our way to the fair. So us ladies took one way to the fair, while Uncle R drove the guys another way, and he was chatting to Uncle J, so he totally missed the turn, and he had to, go back and do that. But then he got there, so, that's great. And yes, of course, I'm in this story, and I was 12 at the time. And being 12, of course, everything was extra fun. When we got there was this music speaker playing TNT by AC/DC, so all the guys were screaming like, "TNT, I'll win the fight," and yeah. Then we saw an ad for a rodeo, so one of Uncle J's daughters asked if she could go, and Uncle J said, "Nah, I'll take you to a real rodeo in Mexico." Anywho, we had been there a while before Aunt Kay said, "All right, everyone, let's start heading back. I'll go ahead and take all the girls in my car again, and all the guys can go with Uncle R." So Aunt Kay and Uncle R both worked at the same nursing home, so that being said, they both had to get up pretty early. And I'm not sure why, but Aunt Kay ended up taking a slower route home, so Uncle R and the guys got home faster than we did. So Uncle R, I think, took the interstate, and he was just kind of flooring it, I don't know what, but anyway, so he was able to get home pretty quickly before we did, and without crashing, so that is a good thing. Once Uncle R was home, he got his lunch ready, and then he went ahead and went off to bed. He unwinded for the night, took off his glasses, and then got his faithful dog Polly off to bed with him. Then all of the ladies got home, and we were very tired from the beautiful day that we had, and at this point Uncle R was fast asleep. So then Uncle J was there when I got home, so we decided to have a nice little conversation about miscellaneous stuff, how life was back in Mexico for them, things like that, whatever. And surprise! Cousin A had popped in. He's like, "Yeah, I'm here," and, whatever. Now, Polly really liked big, floppy toys, and she had a stuffed bunny. And remember how I said Cousin A was full of bright ideas? Well, he picked it up and started being all goofy with it, like, "Oh, look at me," And then the first idea entered into his dangerous mind. Aunt Kay and Uncle R had a chandelier, by the way. Please pretend that little lamp is a chandelier, thank you. So, then Cousin A began to stare into the eyes of the toy rabbit. With great audacity, he looked up into the chandelier, then said, "Hey guys, look at this." Being 6'1", Cousin A reached up to the chandelier and stuck the toy bunny right on top of one of the little lamps on the side of it. He thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Ha ha ha! He kept laughing about it, thought it was so hilarious. But that poor little toy rabbit was stuck up there all alone on the chandelier. Cousin A was now getting tired, so he decided to head off to bed, and he said goodnight to us all, and then he shut his bedroom door. Meanwhile, Uncle J and I were kind of trying to process whatever just happened, but then we decided to get back to our conversation and, just carry on. Everything was fine until I began to smell something funny, and I asked Uncle J, "Do you smell that?" Uncle J then filled his nostrils with the very same aroma and then replied, "Yeah, is someone burning something?" Then, at that moment, we knew. We both knew. I gazed upward to see the toy bunny smoking on the chandelier. It was literally on fire! The little kindle of a flame grew slowly but surely before I exclaimed, "No way!" Now, one thing about Uncle J is that he is a pretty short guy, and again, me being 12 at the time, I was short as well, and that made us too short to reach the rabbit off the top of the chandelier, so we both exclaimed, "I can't reach it." Neither can I.
We didn't know what to do, so Uncle Jay shouted,
Cousin A!
Then when we looked over, Cousin A's door was shut like this. So as Uncle Jay began pounding on it for dear life and there was no response, he whispered into the door,
Cousin A, listen, there's a problem.
From the other side of the door, Cousin A said, Go away.
No, really, we mean there's a problem.
Seriously, guys, leave me alone, Cousin A complained. So then I ran over and whispered,
No, Cousin A, we're being serious.
No, you're not, was the response. Now see, we were all acting like children who didn't want to get caught by their parents. So, we also did not want to wake Uncle R, and that is why we did not confront anyone else in the house about this, by the way. Hoping that no one else in the house would hear us, Uncle Jay finally just said,
Look, Cousin A, that toy bunny you put on top of the chandelier is burning down the house.
Everything was silent for what seemed like an eternity, but was just a mere few seconds, I am sure. I stared in sheer amazement. It was as if time itself had frozen. As we were waiting, then, finally, Cousin A emerged from behind the door, stared at Uncle Jay, who stared at him back. And then Cousin A ran to the chandelier for dear life. He grabbed the bunny. As the smoke had emerged from it, he began to flail it all over the place, trying to get the fire to die down. He kept trying, and finally the flame was fizzling away, just like the life of the stuffed animal, who stared at him lifelessly with its glass eyes. A small hole was seen through its chest where the smoke had been emerging from. Cousin A then dropped the poor helpless toy and backed away from it slowly, hoping to not cause any more damage. Aunt Kay, who had been getting her lunch ready in the kitchen not too far off, called out the following question.
What's that smell?
Cousin A replied,
Nothing.
Looking for a safe escape, he then decided to dart back into his room, and then he shut the door, and then we never saw him again. Well, for the rest of the night. Quite obviously, Uncle Jay and I could not believe what we had just witnessed, but we knew it was hilarious. It was the dumbest way, just about, that you could burn down a house, so we were laughing. Literally non-stop, like the kind of laughing where you freaking couldn't breathe. And I was like, there's no way, this is insane. Like, why did he, what is that, why? Oh, it took a while to catch our breath. I remember that. I was telling that story to everyone for the next few days, and still am to this day, even though it was that many years ago. So, yep. That night, I even said,
Boy, am I gonna have a story to tell.
Uncle Jay agreed.
Yes, you will. Hey guys, so I really hope that you enjoyed that story. I tell that to a lot of my friends whenever I'm looking for a good conversation starter or just a funny story to tell. Cousin A is so goofy. Oop, I didn't mean to grab it like that. Sorry. Cousin A is so goofy. There are so many stories of him. Anyway, so a big thanks to my Crowboy Jr. Yay! Again, please excuse my crooked teeth as always. And don't worry, I did not leave him on that lamp the whole time. I did not pull Cousin A and leave him on the lamp. I'm sorry, Cousin A. But no, I did not leave him on there. I just did for like the quick few seconds that I had to do the footage. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to disclaim that. So I hope that you all enjoyed this story, and thank you again so much for watching. You all remember that you are very loved, Jesus loves you, and you have the most amazing, blessed day.